And these will be in 5 to 6 parts. I will upload them separately and as one video. The show starts off with Roman and Paul come out. Card subject to change was said with Roman and Paul. Real clever. He says what Adam Pearce said. A lot of people say he was outsmarted, that Roman was outsmarted. That way of thinking is beneath them. He says people who are scared to come to work. Legitimately, it took my health during a pandemic to keep me out the ring. What if I was a puss like Adam Pearce? My shoulder and elbow hurts, he says. He's talking about Adam Pearce. My knee and ankles hurt. What was he complaining about? My back hurts because he has been carrying the company for some time now. Next Sunday, he says, what if I can't make it because my back hurts? Adam comes out and he says, this is too much. This is spiraling out of control. Roman says, Adam wants to talk about control. Roman says, you go against me. You put KO and him as the title match, and you put KO in the title picture. He says, you favor Kevin. Roman says, your Kevin Owens is bad word. And he says, you're mine too. I can't stand how you complain about how your body feels. Roman says you haven't been in the match in 6 years. You say your body hurts. Roman has been getting it done for 52 weeks, he says, you whine and moan. No wonder you didn't make it to the WWE. Paul says, lighten up to Adam. He says he can take it from Roman, but he's not going to take it from Paul Heyman. This is part one. Look out for part two. This is part two of the WWE SmackDown review. Then, going towards the end of the segment, Roman says, you're disrespecting me to Adam. Paul says, you disrespected the tribal chief. Paul says, you think I'm impatient. Paul says, I'll beat you. Paul says to Adam, Paul says, I'm not a lawyer. He says, you want something new, different, and huge. Adam Pearce versus Paul Heyman. That's what Roman Reigns says. Adam says, your verbal agreement is official. Roman says, understand this. At the end of the night, you will get beat. That was a pretty good segment. 3.5 stars. I thought it could have been a little bit better. Pretty good segment. I would check that out on the WWE YouTube channel. Then it goes into, after that segment, Sammy comes out. This is another segment. Comes out with a sign and handcuffs Corey from the announce table. Corey Graves says he has been treated unfairly. Sam says he is not going anywhere. Sammy says he will enter the Royal Rumble match. He says he beat Apollo. Sammy says Apollo is rewarded. Then Oscar comes out. That segment was okay. I thought it could have been a little bit better. I'll give that about 2.5 stars. Then it goes into Charlotte and Oscar versus Liv Morgan and Ruby Riott. Natalya and Tamina are in the back looking at the match. It was an okay match. I thought it could have been a little bit better. Charlotte and Asuka won. I'll give it about 3 stars. This is part 2. Look out for part 3. This is part 3 of the WWE SmackDown review. Then they show a quick clip of Bianca Belair and her using her braid as a jump rope. Then it goes into a segment with Daniel Bryan comes out first, then Cesaro comes out next, and Dolph comes out third. They have an exchange of words. Give that about 3 stars. Then it goes into a match with Cesaro versus Dolph Ziggler. Daniel Bryan is at the announce table. Cesaro wins. I'll give that match about 3.5 stars. Then they show a segment after the match from last week with Carmella and Sasha. Then it goes into another segment with, well, before the segment, there is a match. Sasha and Reginald. Sasha wins. I won't rate this match. I'm not really too into intergender matches. It was okay, but I'm not gonna rate the match. And at the end of the match, Sasha and Carmella have an exchange of words. Then it goes into a segment. Roman Reigns and Paul. Paul says, "I know exactly what you want." Roman says, "I passed you the mic to rip Adam to shreds verbally." Roman tells Paul, "You have to go out and do this." Roman expects Paul to go out and handle this business. Roman tells Paul, "Be a man, handle your business." Paul ends the segment. I give that segment about 3 stars. I thought it could have been a little bit better. This is part 3. Look out for part 4. This is part 4 of the WWE SmackDown review. Then it goes into a match with Big E and Apollo Crews. It was a pretty good match. Big E did win by disqualification. Give that about 3.5 stars. During the match, Sammy unhandcuffs himself. He's not handcuffed during the match. Sammy interferes and Helluva kicks Apollo and Big E. Sammy has some words for Big E, and Michael Cole says this was a good match. Sammy leaves and says he didn't ask for this. Then it goes into a segment with KO. KO says Roman pulls some strings, so he cannot be there. KO says, "At the Rumble, we're going to settle this." KO says, "You have not beat me." He says, "You haven't earned both victories over me." KO says he has a lot of tattoos of his family, the tattoo on his knuckles. He speaks about these men. He says he has his back. He was lucky. KO says he cannot stop fighting. "I will keep fighting. Come Royal Rumble, he will be the last man standing." That was a pretty good segment. I'll give that about 4 stars. Then it goes into another segment with Street Profits and Sonya Deville. This is the end of this part. Look out for the next part. This is all about pro wrestling with part 5. Then it goes into another segment with Street Profits and Sonya Deville. And Street Profits ask Sonya, "Are you ready?" The Profits say, "Don't jump the gun. 2 weeks we lost the tag team titles. They say entertainment dysfunction." Montez says, "We want a rematch." Sonya says, "You want to slam me?" Sonya says, "Montez, you're still recovering from your legs." Sonya also says, "When you're 100%, I'll get you in the title picture." The Prophets say, "The basket is for you." It's a pretty good segment. I'll check that out on the YouTube channel. Pretty entertaining. I'll give that 4.5 stars. Then they show a clip after the segment from Bayley and Bianca last week, and Bayley challenges Bianca to an obstacle course. They show the obstacle course, and it goes to a commercial. After they return from the commercial, then it's Bianca versus Bayley in the obstacle course. Bianca has to lift Otis and beat Bayley. Before that, Bianca had to lift Chad Gable. So Bianca had to beat Bayley's time. She did win. I'll give that obstacle course segment slash match. I'll give that about 3.5 stars. A pretty good segment slash fight or match. They did fight at the end of the obstacle course. I'll give that about 3.5 stars. Check that out on the WWE YouTube channel. Then it goes into another segment, Ray and Dominic. Dominic says he got this. Ray says if it goes wrong, Ray says we will do it my way. I give that about 2.5 stars. I thought it could have been a little bit better. This is part 5. Look out for part 6. This is all about pro wrestling with the final part to the WWE SmackDown review. Then it goes into the last match with Paul Heyman versus Adam Pearce. Paul Heyman heads down the ramp towards the ring, tries to go up the steps, and he trips. Paul is on the ground. He's looking at Adam Pearce in the ring. Adam Pearce is ready to wrestle Paul Heyman. And Paul Heyman is by ringside, and he's holding his leg or his ankle, and he says to Adam Pearce, "Card subject to change." Roman comes out, So then it's Roman Reigns versus Adam Pearce. Roman comes to the ring. Superman punches Adam. Adam goes out the ring. Adam gives Roman a right hand. Low blow from Roman. Adam goes over the barricade. Adam gets thrown into the virtual fans on the outside. Right hands from Roman. He gets thrown into the virtual fans again. Adam Pearce. He gets thrown into the virtual fans again. KO comes from the back, attacks Roman. Roman has rights and lefts. Roman is headed to the ring to throw him in the barricade, and then they go into the ring. Roman and KO. KO stuns Roman. Roman goes out the ring. Roman gets thrown into the barricade, rights and lefts from KO. KO gives kicks to Roman. Referees try to stop it. KO goes back and stuns Roman outside of the ring again. KO does a pop-up powerbomb on the table. Paul's in the stands watching. Paul and KO have an exchange of words. KO tries to get the steps. The referees stop him. Show's over. All in all, I give the show about 3.5 stars out of 5 stars. I thought it was a pretty good show. It could have been a little bit better. So we're going to see what's going to happen next week on WWE SmackDown. If you have any questions, any ideas for a video, leave it in the comment section. Send me an email. Thank you for all my subscribers. Hit that subscribe button. Thank you. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you like the video, hit the notification bell. If you like the video, hit the subscribe button. Thank you again. I will be uploading a number of videos before WWE Raw airs. I will have a WWE Raw review after WWE Raw concludes. Look out for that. Thank you again. Thank you for all the new listeners coming in to listen. Thank you again. See you next time.